am at our local Walmart this morning looking at some Christmas decorations for Austin and I's house. We have a few decorations, and you know, we probably won't have as much this first year as we will in years to come, but I love Christmas decorations. I've really never seen Christmas decorations that I didn't like these little houses. I have always loved these little houses and the little scenes and the little people. They're just really sweet. You can get all kinds of people for the little house sets. And of course, all the trees. How could you not like the trees? Even the white ones with those colored lights. I love those. They're so sweet. Lots and lots of styled ornaments. I gotta say, I'm not as crazy about the pink ones, although that pink Santa is kind of cute. I like the pine cones though. And I love those little miniature colored trees. I think this is the ornament for me. I like it. It just looks old. And then the main I'm gonna stack. Got it. Are you going for a ride?
I'm ready for my ride.
I don't think this is going to be super comfortable though.
I think it'll ride like a wagon, but go for it. It's okay. No Kansas for you.
We have these crows. Oh, and there he goes. That just hang around. There's the other one. We had one last year that kept hanging around and eating out of the scrap pile that's over there behind that red car on the bank. You can't really see through the window screen. Don't know where they went.
Find more food.
Probably. They're like pet crows though. It's kind of strange. We're cooking eggs this morning. I'm in my comfy cozy jacket because it's cold in the house. This is called ghee. A lot of you probably are familiar with ghee. We've cooked with it in the past, and then I don't know, fell out of the habit of cooking with it, but I got it again. I like the taste of it. It's definitely different. It tastes to me like, there used to be popcorn that you could buy, which I'm sure you still can, and just buy it to pop at your own house, you know, in the microwave. And then you would add this butter sauce, which I'm sure was really bad for you, but it was in a packet and you could put it over the popcorn, and that's what it like tastes like to me. Ghee, all it is butter with the milk protein like boiled out. That's really it.
But this would hopefully be a much better quality than
the movie popcorn. That's probably fake. It definitely has kind of a rich smell, and it gets kind of real.
It's liquid,
yeah, like liquidy, oily, like you can see. But it is kind of supposed to be better for you than butter. And the butter that we use is the Kerrygold butter. I mean, it's grass-fed. You know, I try not to use margarine, although occasionally I use it while baking. But you really cannot tell the difference. If you have eggs fried in that, it tastes just like butter.
No, you can't tell the difference. It smells strong, and when you smell it, you're like, I don't know about this. It's nasty, but when you cook with it, you don't know. It's okay.
You can't tell the difference at all.
No.
Wait for that to get hot. This is like one of our best pans too. This is like reserved to cook eggs. It's got this thin handle.
That's my favorite pan. If I ever move out, even though I don't think that that's my pan, I have one like it. It's heavier, but I'm like, can I have that pan? Can I take it with me? I really like mine too, though. It cooks really well.
It's a sweet pan. It's been seasoned really well.
It has. It's beautiful. Look at it.
You can see your reflection in it.
You can. I love that pan. It's a good one.
Crack us some eggs. Katie, do you want an egg?
You know, like I was hungry, but then I wasn't hungry. But I think I better eat an egg. I don't think I want 2, though. I think I only want 1 egg.
I busted that one. Honestly,
Do you want 2 eggs? Because if you don't, I'll take the busted one. Because to be honest, I don't really care.
I think I want 2.
I'm not real picky if the egg's busted or not. I just don't.
Oh, it don't matter. It tastes the same, but it annoys me because I bust it almost every time. That's got a piece of
shell in there.
Yeah, but it's hot.
That's okay. Extra protein, Corey.
We'll get these on the plate and it'll be a good breakfast. Got our eggs done. I'm gonna put some butter and jelly on this toast. This is some gluten-free bread that's so-so.
Really, none of it is good as none of it tastes as good as real bread.
No, I'm still working on my elimination diet just for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna add some gluten back in and just kind of see what happens.
I'm doing gluten-free bread too, though, this morning. I try to do that as much as I can, honestly.
And then we got some jelly that Mama made. It's grape from this year, this 2021. This should be pretty good. I don't usually do too much jelly.
It's just pure sugar.
It is, so, and I like it. It tastes good, but sometimes it almost tastes too sweet, and so
yeah.
I don't
want too much on my toast either, for that reason.
I don't want it to get too sweet. All right.
Voila.
That should be pretty good. Today, I've got a persimmon. This is a really big persimmon. I actually found it at Ingles, and I haven't had a persimmon in forever. The only time I really ever remember trying persimmons was in South Georgia, where Dad hunts. There was actually a persimmon tree where they stay out there, and I remember gathering those years ago. But I'm going to cut this one open and give it a try. This is an Asian persimmon. Like I said, it's really big. You can tell it come from the grocery store. We do have persimmon trees in Appalachia, like I was talking about a minute ago. The one that we had in South Georgia when we got them off the tree. And if you are going to get them here, like off a tree somewhere, you would have to wait until after the first frost, because if not, it would be, you couldn't eat it. It'd just make your mouth pucker. You wouldn't be able to eat it. So I'm going to peel this one.
I said we should do that as punishment to people who've been bad. Make them eat unripe persimmons. No, I'm just joking.
I'm not doing the best job at peeling it. Oh boy, see, that's just soft. I mean, I gotta say, this looks delicious. I haven't had one of these in ages, so I don't even know if I'm gonna like it.
How much you leaving on the peeling?
Well, I'm not trying to. It's hard to peel.
Well, you can eat it off the peeling. That's what I'll do. Look, my Lord, what are you doing?
I'm not trying to waste it. It's hard.
Well,
see,
it's so soft, yeah.
On that part that you can't hardly...
Corey said, Katie,
hold on to it.
Come film me peeling this, and then all I did is criticize. I'm so critical. I'm sorry.
It's so soft, it's hard to...
So critical.
It's hard to get close. It's like peeling a peach. You can't hardly...
No, you can't.
Yeah, I don't peel a peach. I eat the skin on that, but... Now, does this have like a...
In there, yeah, probably.
It feels like it. I'm just going to cut off
Just cut off a bite and eat it and see what happens.
I can't hardly hold on to it to even get a bite. I don't really smell anything. I swear I can't taste that. Boy, it makes my teeth feel weird, though. Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't eat persimmons, because of that.
I mean, it tastes really sweet, but...
It ain't got much of a taste, maybe.
Well, probably because it's so big and it comes from the grocery store. It does taste sweet. I bet you it'd be really good to put in pies or cakes or something.
Cool.
Anytime that I have free time, I like to read and I like to crochet. So I wanted to show you what I've been working on and show you the book that I've been reading. This is the book that I'm currently reading. This is in a series. I think there's 4 or so books before this one. This is a really fun series if you like mysteries. It's set in like the 20s and 30s. As you can see by the art on the cover, this was a series that I found when I was in college. The librarian there was really nice, and she would order me books if she could, if there were certain things I liked to read. And this was one that I had just found on the shelf, not this one, but the first one in the series. And they have such pretty covers that it drew my attention, and so I read it and loved it. And so after that, there was 1 or 2 more books at that time that she ordered for me to read. And then, of course, after I left college, departed there, I still wanted to keep reading them. So I think this is the last one in the series right now, and I've kind of tried to stretch them out because I really like them. So I hope that Ashley Weaver will write another one because I really like this book. This is what I'm currently working on. It's going to be a vest, and I've actually already made one of these vests, so I'll show you in just a second what it looks like. But this will be the front panel, and you basically just make 2 big panels. They're very similar. The back is supposed to be a little different from the front, and then you really just attach them up the sides there. But I thought these colors were pretty together. This color is on the vest that I've already made that I'll show you. And I had this sitting around, so I thought that would be pretty. And then I've got the bottom of the next one crocheted too, but since I'm already on this ball of yarn here, I can't attach on to this until I'm done with it. Making these vests has really been pretty fun. It's a fairly simple and quick project, so I'll show you the one that I've already made. This is the vest that I've already made. As you can see, I've not woven any of the ends. They're still sticking out. This was a really fun vest to make. It actually didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it. The back panel was supposed to be like straight across. You can see how they're like both V's. I meant to do it as only the front one a V to where the back would connect like that. But it doesn't matter, it still works. It's the first one I've made like this, and it turned out pretty good. It fits, so I definitely will just weave in the ends and wear it, and it was really fun to make. If anyone is interested in this pattern, I just found it on YouTube. I like to do the patterns on YouTube because in the video you can really see what they're doing. A lot of the times, at least for me, when I make garments like this, the stitches are really easy. This is not a hard stitch, but the actual construction of the garment is sometimes confusing because it'll tell you that you got to have like right sides together, and then you turn it inside out, and you seam in certain places. When I first made this one, I seamed all the way up, so you can imagine what happened. There was no armhole and I had to take it back out. But watching a video for a pattern instead of reading it really helps because you can see what they're doing, and then you can just pause the video and go back. So I'll put the video that I watched to make this in the description below if you're interested. Did you touch an electrical socket?
No, I just fluffed my hair. This is what happens when I fluff my hair. It gets really big like this, and then I have to start trying to comb it and like hairspray it and like get it down. But to be honest, that's a lie. It's a lie in the sense of I did fluff it up, but I had a little bit of help. If you want to have really big hair, fill it full of dry shampoo and then fluff. But see, I think at one point, I don't know about the people in the 70s and the 80s if dry shampoo was a thing. I think they didn't wash their hair. I think they back combed it and they filled it full of Aquanet. I don't have any Aquanet, but I have some other stuff, so that's good.
Katie is going to show us some of her new jewelry tools.
But I'm going to comb my hair first. On my bench right now is a lot of different things. The majority of what was here I have tumbled and finished. I do still have a few pieces. I have to do something with this is waiting its turn, so I have a few pieces here. One thing that I really have done recently that I really like is I got this caddy, what I'm calling a caddy, to kind of reorganize the top of my bench. I don't want to take up too much room on the working surface here, and if I had another caddy that just took up too much room and I didn't have as much of a flat surface to work on, so I ended up with this one, and this top will come off, it'll open, and you can stick, sometimes I stick my pliers down through here. It's magnetic. That's hard to get off, so I can
show us what that is.
Stick my magnet, yeah, and sometimes I accidentally run one off into the window. We'll go ahead and get that in a minute. But this is actually my great grandpa's tape measure. It says 1964 on it, and it still works. It's rusty, and sometimes when you keep pulling this out and when you put it back in, a film like a dust appears because it is really dusty. But I use a tape measure a lot to measure some of my work, so this one works great, and because it's magnetic, it stores there. I absolutely adore this bench caddy because it is magnetic, so sometimes I put my tweezers up there. Sometimes I wonder if this file would stick to it. Yes. Wow, that's very magnetic. This has been a wonderful addition to my bench to keep more of my work surface to myself, and a very generous YouTube friend of ours,
the same guy who sent us my Taylor guitar and another guitar to Katie that we'll have to show you someday.
he generously gave me a gift card to a very well-known jewelry supply. So you can buy metal, you can buy stones, and then tools as well. And I was just totally blown away and so grateful for that gift card, because that allowed me to get things that I was like, well, I really need those tools, but maybe next year, things that you would budget out for that you're like, I can do without now. And so the bench caddy was just a splurge. When I found it, I was really excited. That helped me organize my bench, and I got some really cool tools and some other things. I actually got these files. These are a set of double cut Swiss files. So these are actually some really nice files, nicer than what I've ever had. I just work with these Lowe's files, and they work, but these are actually really nice. And I got some different shapes. I got a half round and a flat and a triangular file and a round file. So I was really excited about that. A family member of this person who donated me this gift card was a jeweler, and this person also had a background and worked with their hands their whole life and that kind of thing. So they understand the importance of tools, and you need tools to work with. So,
and we thank that generous person so much. They've definitely made our year.
They have. I've spent a lot of time kind of crying about it, and just tears of joy, being happy and being so thankful. And I will say, so many people helped me along this journey. An incredible amount of people give me stones, give me money, supported me in some way along this journey. And I always said, what can I do to show my gratitude? What can I do to thank you? And every last one of them always said, you don't owe me anything, but pay it forward. Pay it forward the next chance you get. So every chance I get, I think the way to thank those people is to give it to somebody else. So I try to do that as much as I can. And if I was going to give something to somebody, that's what I would say. You pay me back by pass it forward to somebody else, and keep that kind of chain going to help other people get started or give them positivity where they need it. So love the bench caddy, love the files.
Do you want to show us?
Love the tools.
Dapping thing?
Yeah, my dapping set is over in this dresser here, and it's really heavy, so it's hard to pull the dresser open. I just have to put the head on it. I haven't yet. This is a stamping hammer, so I can use both sides. I can use this side and this side. And we use brass because the brass is softer than the steel that I'm going to be stamping, so it won't mar the steel stamp that I'm going to use when I'm stamping the metal. So this is really interesting. This head sits in here like that, so that means if it gets wore out or something happens, you can replace it and get another one. But this, oh my gosh, that is one of the nicest hammers I've ever had a hold of. And Fretz is a company that makes very expensive tools that I would have never bought for myself or been able to do. So, right, the set isn't here, and it's just really heavy.
It's really cool, though.
Yeah, it is. So what you use this for is to form and shape metal. So there's a block here, and I would take my piece of metal and lay it over this block, and then I would come up with whichever corresponding size. It's probably this one. And I would lay it over that and hammer, and of course you're going to end up with a concave shape there. So that's awesome. You can also use, this is what I would call, it's kind of like a mini swedge block, and you can take these little square mandrels and lay it in there and form. You can make like hinges like that, or you can use the round part of one of these and lay it in there and form. So this is just invaluable to have the ability to form all of this metal like this.
Is that like a baby anvil down there too?
It is like a little tiny anvil.
Ooh,
and so
nice.
it has a hole in it and two holes where you could put screws. You can mount this to something if you wanted to. And so like that little shape there, that's really nice. You could do a lot of really fine and small forming with that. So same thing here. This is like kind of another block. So the possibilities as far as forming and shaping metal with this set are endless. And these sets aren't usually cheap. And so some of this forming can be done by hand. And a lot of the forming I've done over the years has been by hand, but it's very tedious. It takes a lot of time. It's very time consuming. It's not easy. It's probably not going to be uniform. So this is great. This is going to save me a lot of time, and it's going to allow me to be able to do things that I hadn't been able to do before. In the bottom of this drawer, I keep my disc cutter set. So essentially what you would do is there's a slot around this edge here for your metal to slide in between this block in the bottom here, and you would take whatever size hole you want and put that over your metal and hammer, and you can cut out
perfect circular discs of whatever size you want. Then you could take those discs over there to the dapping block and make sure they correspond, your size disc to your size dap punch, and then punch it out. So this is also, oh my gosh, going to save me so much time. I used to draw the circles by hand and saw them out, and that takes an incredible amount of time to get them even somewhat close to round. I've had a set before, but it was just not even worth using. It was so cheap, I just want to throw it down the bank. So this is another really awesome tool. You can see that little, is that rutile? Mm-hmm. Rutilated quartz. Yeah, and this is called Flame. That's like a flame agate. It comes from Mexico. That'll be pretty. That doesn't look great right now, but it'll look really good. This is just the first stage of after I've preformed it and dopped it. So there'll be a lot of other shaping and polishing going on. But right now I'm just focused on making inventory, jewelry inventory. So I've done a little bit less rocks than what I would like. I'm excited about this too. This is just looks like a mess right now because it is, but this will be a doublet. So when I get all this trimmed out, hopefully this top stone will be transparent enough that you'll be able to see this green hue through it. What's the green material? I don't know, to be honest. It's probably, is it real or maybe? Oh yeah, no, it's probably some kind of jasper because it looks pretty uniform, pretty hard. But this is what they call graveyard point agate. Comes from the Idaho-Oregon border. It's really nice. It polishes up very nice. It takes a hard cut. It's good. So I want to do more rocks, but I'm just busy, so I've done less rocks. But I did do something interesting. I went up in the woods above the house and picked up a rock and polished just one edge of it just to see what it would look like. Turn it towards us a little more. There you go. And it's actually really pretty. It's not, this is not a solid material. It's not super solid, but I do think it could take a cut and a polish. So I'm going to try my hand at maybe stabilizing some of this and kind of helping it out to get the material a little stronger. It looks like a fish. It does. It's comment spotted. Below what fish looks like this. I don't know. Trout? Trout looks like that, yeah. It's really pretty. Oh my gosh, speckled. You could call it like trout something. I mean, you could come up with your own name. This just would be my own rock. I mean, this come from my woods, my driveway, essentially. So I don't know what I'll be able to do with it as far as kind of shoring it up and making it a little stronger. I think I can, so I'm excited to see what happens. The sky is just